The conversation is heating up, fan. While some are still trying to downplay Lamar Jackson's impact, he keeps shutting down any criticism that comes his way. But this time, the game is going to be different. Have you heard about the latest criticism of him? Former player Logan Ryan, in a lazy analysis, tried to say that Lamar isn't as valuable to the Ravens as Josh Allen is to the Bills. But what no one realizes is that this jab is about to make things get even uglier for those trying to discredit the Ravens QB. What's coming next will make the critics regret every word. Lamar doesn't need comparisons or excuses to shine. He's already shown enough. But he's ready to make it clear once and for all who the real MVP of this season is. So, if you think you've seen it all, get ready. The next few weeks will show you why Lamar is the only one who deserves that title. Stay until the end, because what's coming will make you see the game in a way you've never imagined. Go Ravens! Lamar Jackson is having another brilliant season in 2024, and he's closer than ever to winning the MVP award. He's already thrown for 37 touchdowns, almost 3,800 yards, and only 4 interceptions. These numbers speak for themselves, but what really impresses is how he's led the Ravens to a 10-5 record and secured a playoff spot, all while leading the AFC North. Lamar isn't just a good quarterback. He's the main reason the team is thriving this season, being the pillar of one of the strongest teams in the league. With such an impressive season, it's impossible not to recognize that Lamar is carrying the Ravens on his back. Despite all these remarkable numbers, there are still people trying to diminish how important Lamar is to the team, and that's been an incredibly frustrating narrative. He won MVP twice before even having Derrick Henry on the roster, and now that Henry is shining, some try to claim Lamar isn't as essential. This attempt to undermine Lamar completely ignores what he represents for the team. When Lamar takes the field, the opposing defense already knows it's going to be tough to stop. His ability to make plays with his legs and arm constantly pressures defenses, creating opportunities for the team. But even with all those impressive stats and wins, the narrative continues trying to erase him. With every game, Lamar reaffirms his value as the true engine of the Ravens, and his importance goes beyond the numbers. His game management, his ability to improvise, and make crucial plays when the team needs it most are what make Lamar such a key piece. What he's doing this season is exactly what the team needs to stay competitive, and Henry's numbers, while impressive, are just a reflection of an offensive system that revolves around Lamar's ability. Now, this discussion about who's more important is starting to get clearer. Lamar Jackson is, without a doubt, the heart and soul of the Ravens. And that's what the next criticism is going to try to contest. Even though Lamar Jackson is having an impressive season, with numbers that make anyone question his greatness, there's still resistance trying to downplay his importance. What's really frustrating is seeing that, despite so many achievements and evidence of his talent, some analysts keep pushing the narrative that he's not as valuable as other quarterbacks. And this resistance doesn't come from a lack of evidence, but from a continuous effort to strip Lamar of the credit he deserves. The latest example comes from Logan Ryan, who suggested Lamar's impact on the Ravens is less than Josh Allen's on the Bills, simply because of Derrick Henry. This kind of comment completely ignores everything Lamar has done and continues to do for Baltimore. And even with such criticisms, Lamar keeps proving that he's impossible to ignore. When you look at the Ravens season, Lamar's value is clear. He's been the player keeping the offense running and pushing the team forward, while others try to point to external factors, like Henry's presence, to downplay his impact. The problem is that this approach oversimplifies the game. Lamar isn't just an athlete who runs and throws passes. He's the brain of the offense, controlling every movement, adjusting plays, and making the team move at his pace. And by ignoring this, critics overlook the complexity and importance of Lamar's role within the team. This kind of narrative continues to surface because some still can't see the real impact he has in every game. This constant criticism of his performance might reflect the disregard Lamar still faces when it comes to being recognized fairly. However, the truth is that he's leading the Ravens in spectacular fashion. Even with all the attention on other players and unjust comparisons, Lamar remains the undeniable leader of the team. There's no denying the value he brings to Baltimore, and all this resistance only reinforces the idea that his genius is being underestimated by those who refuse to accept his greatness. Now, with the next part of this discussion, we'll understand the real role Lamar plays compared to other standout players. The comparison Logan Ryan made between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen is, to say the least, questionable. Ryan tried to justify that Josh Allen is more valuable to his team simply because the Buffalo Bills would be weaker without him than the Ravens would be without Lamar. This analysis overlooks one simple fact. Lamar Jackson has already won MVP twice before Derrick Henry even joined the team, and still his importance doesn't decrease. On the contrary, what Ryan doesn't see is that Lamar is by far the most important player on this. Allen's impact on the Bills is undeniable, but that doesn't diminish the fact that Lamar is the engine keeping the Ravens competitive. When you think of the Ravens, there's no doubt Lamar is the player who makes everything happen. And while Allen has his importance, Lamar is the one who takes the Ravens to a whole new level. Another flaw in Ryan's comparison is that he underestimates the impact Lamar has on the game. Lamar Jackson is the type of quarterback who doesn't just execute plays, but creates them. He turns a simple play into a huge one with his unique ability to improvise and read the game. While Allen may have a strong arm and make impressive passes, Lamar brings an element of unpredictability to the game that no one else in the league has. He's able to control the game with both his legs and arm in a way that constantly puts defenses in a dilemma. This is something Allen, impressive as he may be, still doesn't have to the same intensity. Additionally, Derrick Henry's presence in the Ravens' offense is more a reflection of how Lamar makes the team work than a factor that diminishes Jackson's value. Lamar's ability to stretch the field, force defenses to adjust to his movements, and ensure the opposing defense never focuses on just one thing creates opportunities for players like Henry to shine. Therefore, the comparison between Lamar and Allen fails to understand the dynamic of the Ravens team. Instead of diminishing Lamar, we need to recognize that he's the main reason everything works in Baltimore. Well, we're past the halfway mark of the video, but before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like on this video yet. It's really important for YouTube to keep recommending my content to you, so I can keep bringing you more. So, go ahead and hit that like button. It's free. Thanks. Now let's keep going. Derrick Henry's impact on the Ravens' offense is undeniable, but linking Lamar Jackson's success to Henry's presence is a fallacy. Lamar Jackson was already a star before Henry arrived in Baltimore, and his presence doesn't lessen what Lamar brings to the team. On the contrary, Henry benefits from how Lamar keeps defenses on alert all the time. When Lamar is on the field, defenses have to worry not just about the run game, but about Lamar's constant threat of running or making precise passes. This adds pressure on defenses and opens up spaces for Henry to have big ones. So, while Henry's presence is important, it's merely a reflection of how Lamar keeps the team competitive. What Logan Ryan and other critics don't understand is that Lamar Jackson doesn't need a great running back like Henry to succeed. He's already won MVP twice without a player like Henry on his offensive line. Lamar's talent goes far beyond what he can do with the run game. His ability to make quick decisions, throw perfect passes, and dominate the game with his improvisation is what makes him so special. Henry undoubtedly brings a positive impact, but Lamar is the one who makes the Ravens unbeatable. And the combination of these talents is what makes the Ravens so hard to defeat. The Ravens' defense knows that the real engine of the offense is Lamar. He's the one who keeps defenses constantly moving, forcing them to adjust every moment. And while Henry has great runs, it's Lamar who creates the conditions for those to happen. If Lamar weren't there, opposing defenses could focus more on Henry, and the success of the running game would be much harder to achieve. Therefore, any attempt to diminish Lamar's value in relation to Henry is an attempt to ignore reality. Lamar Jackson is what makes the Ravens unbeatable, and his presence on the field is the real secret to the team's success. The criticism of Lamar Jackson is not only wrong, but also incredibly lazy. It's much easier to reduce Lamar's impact to a simple narrative of he's just an athlete or he has a good team around him than to actually recognize how much he does to make the Ravens such a competitive. This simplistic analysis fails to understand Lamar's game. He's not just a runner or only a passer. He is the team's leader, the mind behind every successful play, which makes him so valuable to the Ravens. By trying to fit Lamar into a simple label, many critics fail to see what he truly represents to the team and the league. These oversimplified narratives only serve to weaken the recognition Lamar truly deserves. These lazy criticisms are nothing new. Since Lamar entered the league, he's been the target of critiques like he's just a runner or he doesn't have a good offensive line. When he throws accurate passes, the response is always, he has good targets, Nothing is ever enough for those who try to downplay what he's done. These narratives are the easiest way to discredit the work of a player who has repeatedly shown he's one of the best quarterbacks. But what critics fail to see is that Lamar is what keeps the Ravens' offense running, no matter who else is on the field. As Lamar continues to excel and elevate the Ravens' game, it's clear that these critiques based on simplistic narratives are unfounded. More and more, what he does on the field is undeniable, and even if they try to minimize him, there's no hiding the impact he has on the game. He's not just a great athlete, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and has long been underestimated by those who can't see the true greatness of his talent. Now, the next part of this discussion is about the true essence of Lamar Jackson and how he deserves the recognition that has always been denied. Lamar Jackson is simply making it clear, once again, why he deserves the MVP title. Throughout the season, he has been essential to the Ravens' success, with performances that highlight his undeniable talent and leadership. Lamar's impact goes far beyond the stats. He is the driving force behind the team, whether with his accurate passes, his electrifying runs, or the way he makes the offense work cohesive. The Ravens' victories wouldn't be the same without Lamar's spectacular performance. The truth is, not only does he lead the team, but he is taking Baltimore to a new level of success. It's important to understand that Lamar Jackson's value cannot be measured only by traditional quarterback stats. He transcends the position with his ability to dominate in every aspect of it. When he runs, defenders are left stunned. When he throws, the ball arrives with precision in a way few quarterbacks can match. And it is precisely this skill set, combined with his leadership, that puts him in a unique position for the MVP award. He is doing what few quarterbacks can, turning every game into an opportunity to shine. And as the season progresses, he continues to show that it's impossible to ignore the impact he has in every Raven. As the season moves forward, comparisons with other MVP candidates become increasingly unfavorable for them when placed alongside. He's not just winning games, he's raising the level of the league. The Ravens are in contention for a top spot, and it's impossible to deny that Lamar Jackson is the biggest reason for this. His ability to make big plays in the most critical moments is what defines an MVP, and Lamar is proving game after game that he is the best. Not only does he deserve the award, but he is making it clear and undeniable that he does. Lamar Jackson continues to prove, week after week, that he is the key to the Ravens' success and a legitimate MVP candidate. The criticisms and comparisons with other players won't shake his journey, and he's about to silence all those who still doubt his value. There's no denying it. Lamar is the engine driving this team, and anyone watching this season knows it. The question is, will the critics finally accept what's clear to all of us, or will they keep trying to find flaws where there are none? Now, I want to know from you, what do you think about this discussion on Lamar Jackson? Do you think he deserves the MVP, or are there still others who should be considered? Comment below, and if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates on the Ravens and Lamar Jackson.